Hello and welcome back to the Fpl Conservatory, your one-stop shop pod for everything fantasy football in the 1920 season. I'm going to run through everyone in the conservatory this afternoon. Hello, Jordan.
Oh, I thought I'd just leave it like everyone else says. So, yeah, fuck it.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you'd actually gone and I was just doing a one-man pod.
I was tempted, but no.
And that is all that's in the conservatory this afternoon. Mason is doing something that I can't say online. Not like gay sex or nothing, but no, I can't start that. Can't say that, can I?
But I don't know. You said you can't say it, so I don't know.
Perry's said he was going to be 10 minutes, 20 minutes ago, and Joe's bedtime was 10. So it's 4 minutes past 10 and he can't make it for some reason. So me and Jordan are going to crack on with the review for Gameweek 5 coming up. The game weeks are flying past Jordan at the moment. How are you feeling the season's gone so far?
Well, it's gone all right so far. I've been sticking in the middle, been easy going. I think it's a solid start, but I need to start picking up a few more points, really. I think everyone's sort of now figured out who the good players to have are and who's suddenly, not actually going to take off like we thought this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think then that the way this season is starting to pan out, particularly over the first 4 weeks, obviously gives an indication of the next 4 weeks, but before the season started, everyone had a concrete idea that the season was going to go all the way to defenders, City and Liverpool defenders. Do you know what I mean? Are you surprised with the way the season's gone so far?
Yeah, I am. I mean, if you looked at last season, obviously, I don't know if it was a standout year or if it just the way it panned out, but they both seem to just have clean sheet after clean sheet after clean sheet. You had to have them in. They got loads of assists, all the wingers. And yeah, it doesn't seem to have worked out. Most teams have letting go. I mean, every weekend it seems to be the only team which keeps a clean sheet is some random mid-table team, and everyone else wins 2-1 or 3-2 or something. So it's been strange.
Yeah, what I find as well is that, okay, these players like Mason, for example, they're doubling up on the City and the Liverpool. But so City and Liverpool both got a clean sheet, I think, first time this season. Mason obviously cashed in all the points, but there were lower league teams. For example, Crystal Palace, West Ham, who also picked up clean sheets. So when you're like not going heavy on the defence, your defence isn't usually made up of your West Hams, your Palace, Kelly, for example, and so you end up getting them clean sheet points anyway that Mason got for Van Dijk and Zinchenko, for example.
Yeah. Well, I think it's that sort of. I feel I do it every year, but there's always that. Oh, there's that defender you've got to have, like Alonso last year. You've got to have Alonso who's going to get loads of points, and you end up spending all your money on these expensive defenders, and rarely do they do it 2 years in a row. If you know what I mean, they don't get enough points to make it worth it, and then you suddenly got no money elsewhere. You're too thin. You've got to try and pick up those sort of surprising players like last year. Alexander-Arnold, who was only 5 million, I think he was. You got to find those players like that are going to consistently get you points, but are sort of new to the league almost.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I just want to ask you, bro, briefly as well, your thoughts on the season's performances for Zuma.
Do you want me to leave this one that you do on your own? Please?
Because I'm just gonna go through the scores that he's contributed so far, and I just wanted to say that Zuma was in my
anything. You don't need to even read anything out. He's computed fuck all.
Zuma was in my team the day before the game week 1 deadline, and I took him out, and he has so far returned -1, 2, 1, -1. He must be the only defender in history to get 2 -1s in the first 4 weeks.
Right, honestly, I'm going to Stamford Bridge not this Saturday, the Sunday after, to watch the Liverpool game, and I think I might, for the first time in my life, boo a Chelsea player. Like every time he gets on the ball, I'm just going to boo him. He's a prick. He was that player that I've got a bit of spare money. I'm going to spend it on him, and no, he just annoys me.
Yeah, but you know what it was? He's obviously gone down in price now, but 5 mil for Chelsea, 4.9 now. So 5 mil for a Chelsea defender was like fuck. If Chelsea start off, obviously they're a top 6 side, 5 mil defender. I don't think there are any other 5 mil defenders apart from like Kevin Walker-Peters, whatever his name is. Kevin Walker-Peters. Who the fuck's that?
Brother.
Yeah, I actually swapped out Zuma for Kevin Walker-Peters, which actually worked out all right, but that's just me. Just looking at your team, Jordan, Wan-Bissaka looks to be injured going into the new game week. Have you just assessed that at all?
Well, I've been toying with a wild card, if I'm honest. So nothing has been done because I haven't quite brought myself to the courage of doing it. But obviously, he'd be gone. But there's quite a few other little bits of deadwood that would also be gone. But I'm sort of thinking maybe I can stick it out for a little bit longer. But yeah, Wan-Bissaka, I'm just sort of thinking maybe Van Aanholt. I don't know. They seem to be in good form. Like we said, I think recently that, well, Perry said recently, obviously, he's the savant when it comes to bloody Crystal Palace and RU and whatever. They've actually got good form this year. So I'm looking at him. I've put in Peters for Zuma, so I've got a bit of spare cash as well.
Oh, you got rid of Zuma, did you?
Yeah, I got rid of him at the end of the last game where I couldn't handle him anymore. He was. I'm trying to think of a good metaphor, but he was just like a piece of shit on my plate, so I got rid of him.
Well, I thought, yeah, but you've obviously just got in before his price decline then, because he's now 4.9, and that would have been a ball ache to try and get him out.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm just trying to find here on the Reddit Fantasy PL subreddit the Fallers and the Risers for today. Fallers are Delafeu, Duffy, Trezeguet, and Xande Silva. So no risers and no main fallers.
I have Xande Silva as well, so great.
Well, the reason why I was just checking that is the most transferred out player this game week is Wan-Bissaka, 300,000 transferred out. So I'm wondering if he's going to slip to 5.4 and then struggle to swap him out like for like as well.
I'm honest. This podcast making me realise that it's not looking very good in Bukake land.
I keep forgetting that that's your name. Bukake FC is just absolutely fantastic.
Very proud of it.
Let's just have a look at the top transfers out during the international period. So like I say, Wan-Bissaka was top. Next it's Rashford, which is surprising to me, but he's not injured or anything. Are you surprised at that? I mean, you got a couple of goals against Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's just better options out there, isn't it? It's that thing of United. You know, they're not looking great, and I think there's other people are going to go in for Abraham, and they're going to go for Pookie. But
yeah,
I think that's what they're going to do. And obviously, a lot of people are putting in James now as well, and I think people might be, don't want to double up maybe on that Rashford and putting in James instead of him as a United forward option. He's a bit cheaper, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I think. Well, I'll come on to James in a minute. Laporte, he was also third most transferred out, but he looks to have picked up some injury.
Surgery, didn't he?
Yeah, does that mean then that either Stones or Otamendi is going to become number one choice for them? Because I think Stones is quite cheap.
I guess it must do, because they've only got 3 defenders, 3 centre-backs, and obviously there's talk of Fernandinho, but I mean, you'd assume that those 2 will be the first choice centre-backs.
You'd assume so, yeah. I saw an article, and I think it was maybe Guardian, or it's probably fucking Garth Crooks, to be honest, but he was saying that Kyle Walker might play centre-back, and then they bring that Cancelo to play right-back.
I'm sure Garth Crooks thinks that Kyle Walker is the best defender ever after that goal line clearance a few weeks ago. That's all he's seen, just a highlight.
That's true. The fourth most transferred out, Martial. So you've got Wan-Bissaka, Rashford, and Martial, 3 out of the top 4 United players, all transferred out. It's interesting, the people ditching United early.
Yeah, I mean, they've not been too bad, I don't think. They've not got great results, but
I think what it comes down to is based on fixtures, because if people are assuming, right, I'm getting them in for Palace and Southampton, and if they blank in them 2 games, it's like, well, fuck them. Like, do you know what I mean? Just absolutely get them out. There's no patience. There's no long-term game that maybe in the next game against, I don't know, Leicester, that he's going to get 2 and make up for it. And then, surprisingly, the 5th top transferred out this game week is Pookie.
I think it's a lot of people. He's had one bad game week and they're sacking him off because he's got City next, haven't they?
Yeah, you're probably
Got it.
maybe doing a straight swap for someone. Don't know who.
But then you stick it out after this. He's then got Burnley, Crystal Palace, Villa, and Bournemouth.
Yeah, it looks good for him.
Yeah, it's not terrible fixtures. I might probably get him out after that, but those 4 look quite good. So
Yeah, I'm sure all this sort of mad transferring in and out is going to die down at some point.
yeah. But then you look at who's the top transferred in, and it's Tammy Abraham. So
Nearly 500,000.
Huh?
Nearly 500,000.
Yeah.
I just don't. Tammy Abraham, man, like, you know, don't get me wrong, 4 goals in 2 games, but
I'm still not convinced he's going to be first choice all the time.
That's the thing. I mean, we've got Wolves away and then Liverpool at home. They are 2 incredibly tough fixtures. I mean, Chelsea, I'm not being funny, could be near the relegation zone after them 2 games.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we've not defensively been pretty shocking. So, and, you know, see, Wolves love to play against a top team. They just counter attack.
Yeah,
you can see we got ripped apart, even by Leicester on the counter, by
Norwich.
everyone on the counter. We control the ball really well, but we give space. So yeah, I can see everyone beating us.
But after them 2 games, we've got Brighton, Southampton, Newcastle, Burnley, Watford, Palace. I mean, them 6 games, man. If Abraham is still starting the next 2 games, he's going to be really tempting for me just for them 4-5 fixtures, because there's some like proper tasty fixtures.
Yeah, no, they're nice as well. I mean, you got home games as well in there that look nice, don't you?
Yeah, and but on the contrary, I've got Mount. So am I really going to double up on Abraham and Mount?
Yeah, it's not as. There's better options out there, isn't there, really, than doubling up on those 2. You want to split it, surely.
Yeah, I agree. Second most transferred in, James. Now, I'll be honest, I have transferred in the man. I did it last night. I was holding off. I was like you. I was debating the wild card. I was thinking, right, my team is not looking good on paper, man. Like, I want to get Aguero in so badly because he is just on absolute fire. So then I was like, right, I'm going to take a -4. And then Kevin Walker-Peters got injured or whatever. Well, I kept saying Kevin Walker-Peters.
I don't even know what his name is at this point.
Kyle Walker-Peters got injured. And now he's gone down to 4.9, which has fucked me, bro, because now
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was getting rid of Perez, who didn't start the last game, and put Daniel James in because James obviously scored for Wales. Just looks in really good form.
Yeah, he does. He just. I mean, he's been booked for diving as well. He's been unlucky. He probably should have had, an assist for a penalty that should have been given as well. I think Rashford missed that pen that he won as well, didn't he? So
yeah, so it would have been another.
A lot of nice points in there. He looks good, dangerous. He cuts inside really. I don't know if you saw the goal he scored.
Yeah.
But he just cut inside and curled it top corner. It wasn't, like a tap in or anything. It was a goal that, could happen
really
anyway.
good. Yeah, it was really, really good goal.
Mm.
Okay, so should we get into some of these fixtures then?
Yeah, go on in. Let's go for it.
So let's have a look here. Okay, so this Saturday, the early kickoff is Liverpool at home to Newcastle. Now, I don't know about you, Jordan, but Sara is my captain.
I've gone Sterling, actually.
You've got Sterling?
Yeah, I've gone for Sterling, but it's open to change. Let's put it that way.
I'll tell you what, I had Sterling because in the last podcast I said I had Sterling because Norwich looked really, really bad at the back. But I don't think Salah played any international games, did he? So...
Did not?
Well, I don't think... Egypt didn't have any games, did they? Like, it was just Euros, wasn't it?
I don't know. I thought everyone... Let's have a look.
No, because there were some players like... let's have a look. Egypt results. I couldn't be made to look a fool here, but...
I mean, it's quite actually hard to look up the Egypt
Yeah, I thought that was just going to come up.
Arrows.
Yeah, so the last game they played was on the 6th of July, where they lost 1-0 to South Africa in the African Cup of Nations. So Salah is going to be surely fresh for 2 weeks at home to Newcastle. Do you know what I mean?
Can you ask me again who my captain is?
Who's your captain?
It's Salah, mate.
I mean, that's the only logical reason I came to. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sterling could get 3 goals. He got 2 goals and 4 assists, was it, in the international break? I mean, that is fucking out of hand, really. But
Yeah, no. But mind you, did play Kosovo.
yeah, that is true.
Although actually, they've got 8 points in the group. I didn't quite realise. I thought they were just another Azerbaijan.
No, man, they're unbeaten in. I don't think they're unbeaten in 18 months, but they've only been playing like Luxembourg and shit.
Yeah, because they weren't allowed to play proper games as well for a long time, were they?
Yeah.
They've only just in the last sort of few years been recognised by FIFA.
But just talking on that, I think, you know, that old saying though, never captain someone in the early kickoff. Like,
Jake,
it never seems to come. Yeah.
You ask me again who my captain is.
Jordan, who's your captain this week?
I think it's Sterling actually.
I think it's Mount.
Mason Pookie.
Could City away.
Yeah, never know.
Now saying that, City probably will concede. Now they've not got Laporte, but
yeah, watch Pookie get a brace, and I'll just go, oh, fuck.
Okay, so we're in agreement. Are we in agreement that Salah's going to be the captain, or are you still subject to change?
It's going to have to be, isn't it? Really, Newcastle are pretty poor, and like you say, he's been rested, so he should be good to go.
Yeah, I think we can agree on that. Have you got any other Liverpool and Newcastle players?
I've got Robertson, and obviously I don't have a Newcastle player.
Robertson decreased in price, if my memory serves.
He did, but to be honest, I'm not too worried because I wasn't going to take him out.
Yeah, you're going to keep him to the end of the year, aren't you?
Yeah, so it's not that much of a concern that oh no, we've got to get rid of him. Like it's like that Xande Silva guy. He went down, but I was never ever going to take him out. He's always just going to be that cheap player that whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I've got Van Dijk, so I think we're similar. We've both got Salah, both got a Liverpool defender. Any Newcastle players tinkering around your team?
There isn't really, if I'm honest. The only player who I might have had would be Richie, but then he got injured. So
Rich T. No, I just think Newcastle are a void, aren't they?
Yeah, they are definitely. But it's because he's a defender and he takes all of the set pieces. That's the only reason. He might get a look in, but none from them really are going to be serious. No,
that's the same here. Just trying to think of if anyone else. Does anyone else in our league have Mane? I don't think anyone's taken that plunge yet. Although Joe was saying that he's done a wild card and he's got no Salah or Sterling, so I'm assuming he's got Mane.
Yeah, he'll surely have Mane and De Bruyne then, won't he? If he doesn't have those two. Yeah,
you'd think so. Which is surprising to me because, I mean, they are going. I think Salah and Sterling are surely going to outscore both Mane and De Bruyne.
But are they going to outscore enough that it's not worth that extra 3 million you can spare on the team?
That's true. Yeah, you never know.
It's on Apple Watch. Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't asking you for phone, but thanks.
I wonder what just happened then.
It's just, my watch just trying to find the answer to are Salah and Sterling going to be worth the extra 3 million that you're not going to spend around your team? You must have listened to the podcast instead.
Yeah, exactly. Play FPL Conservatory.
I'm sorry, I can't find that.
I can't find this week's review. Everyone bailed. All right, Brighton Burnley. I mean, that just sounds like an absolute snorefest. Burnley, obviously, are Burnley the most informed team? Just thinking Brighton have got a couple of wins under their belt. Burnley do look strong without Europe this year, I must admit. You've transferred in Peters, I recall.
Yeah.
What, you going to throw out a score prediction? I'm assuming, apart from Peters, you don't have a Burnley or Brighton player, do you?
No, I did not. Let me just check. No, just checking useless subs. No, I don't. But yeah, Peters, they've got 3 good games coming up. They've got Brighton, obviously, Norwich at home, and then Aston Villa as well. There's 3, and Everton. No, not that. But, they're quite good fixtures for 4.6 is what I ended up putting him in for because he went up. It's quite good value. It's just that sort of cheap defender, isn't he, really? I think a few other people might have Burnley defenders. I think Pope is definitely most people's cheap. He seems to have got a lot of points as well.
And Barnes. Forget about Barnes sometimes.
Yeah. You always forget. I think, what is he now, 6.7?
He must be, yeah. I must admit, I've been really because obviously I want to get in Aguero, so I need to downgrade Callum Wilson, who is doing unbelievable. Like he's got returns in every game week so far. He's got 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, 3 assists and a goal. He's gone down by 0.2. And I myself are now transferring him out because I'm going to pick up Barnes to allow me to try and get Aguero. But then I'm sitting there thinking, well, Wilson is giving me the return. So, like, how badly and I need to take a -4 for it. It's mad.
You go down and you sort of think, maybe I should shift him out, but he shouldn't go down. He should go up. It's just that everyone else is doing what you're thinking of doing.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's trying to wheedle in the same players, but Bournemouth's fixtures coming up. I mean, they do look good. We'll get onto that in a minute. All right, so let's do quick predictions. Let's do a Liverpool-Newcastle prediction for you, please.
I'll go 4-0.
I'm going to go 4-1 because I just hope that everyone's clean sheets are ruined again.
Hope that Mason has another little aneurysm as they let in a late minute goal.
Fucking hell, man. Can't believe it. Spent all my money on my defence.
Oh, every year. I can't believe it. Bottom feeder.
Part 3. What's your prediction for Brighton, Burnley?
Maybe like a 1-0 to Burnley.
1-0 to Burnley. Interesting. Yeah. I'm gonna go 0-0 there. I think that's gonna be a bore draw.
Yeah.
Bore draw for me. I think Dunk might pick up a clean sheet. Peters for you, you'd love, obviously.
Yeah, I would take that. Do more in one game. In fact, all he has to do is just play 90 minutes and he'd do more for me than Zuma's done all season.
That's true. All right, Man United, Leicester. Have you got any players there?
I had... Oh, no, I got rid of him, actually. I was going to say that I have... what's his name? Matt Madison, but he's gone. Kind of regret that because Sigurdsson's brick. But no, I've got neither of those.
You took out Madison?
Yeah, I took out Madison and put in Mount and Pookie. It did nothing for me. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Moving on.
You got James, haven't you?
I've got James, transferred in James this week. Did Perez to James. I had the mare, man, because I had Tielemans and I had Perez, right? And I'd gambled for some reason on the Leicester midfield. They were relatively cheap, 6.5 each. I'm thinking, right, this could pay off. Blank. Comes to the 4th game week. I'm right. Tielemans, you're out because Perez is playing further forward. Tielemans gets 2 goals and an assist, and Perez doesn't play. So then I just rage quit, and then I went to do to James, and then I was like, right, after the international break, and literally as soon as it finished, I did Perez to James. So I no longer have no Leicester players in the team, which is quite frightening, actually.
So that nice strategy you came up with in the summer, you just binned it off after 4 weeks.
Yeah, but come on, man. There are other players, like you say, like James, Mount, these guys picking up points. Even my guy McGinn getting points.
Not Josh McGinn? John McGinn.
John McGinn and Kevin Walker-Peters.
I don't care. No, like you say, it's how long do you keep hold of these players that you think should get you points for the players that are currently getting points?
Well, I had to get rid of one of them because I was doubling up and they were doing nothing. So I had to get rid of one. So I got rid of the wrong one. And then if Perez isn't playing, man, like he didn't play a single minute. So I'm thinking, well, I can't risk that again. There's no way. He has to go for James, who's in form.
I hope you're ready for James to be dropped.
James dropped, Perez hat-trick, 100%.
Oh, yeah, that's the way it is.
That is the game. That is why we love it.
What go for there, then?
Sorry?
What score are you gonna predict there?
Yes, sorry. I'm going to go with 2-1 Leicester.
Ooh. Not backing United.
I'm not. I'm thinking Ollie is going to be sacked at Christmas, man.
Are you thinking maybe Tielemans and Perez goals on there?
I tell you what, I would hate. I think Vardy brace. Vardy looking unbelievable at the moment.
Yeah, actually, you ignore him every year, but he just keeps on scoring, doesn't he?
I think Vardy's always got a bad rap. Like he's always got 15 goals to 15 to 20 goals a season, and he rarely doesn't even really get that call up for England. Like he gets called up, but he just never really got the shot.
He just seems to be consistent. Like he never gets a hat trick or anything like that. He always just seems to get a goal.
Yeah.
Like last week, he got 16 points, which is quite a lot for him. I swear, normally he just gets 9 points every week. He just get goal, 2 points. That's it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree with that. He's quite expensive as well. I think it's like 9 mil, is he? 9.5, something like that. I don't know. This is I'm just guessing.
He's 9, I think.
What's your predictions there for that game?
I'm going to go for 2-2.
Interesting.
I don't think either of them have been particularly great.
Leicester are third, I think.
Are they?
Leicester, Leicester are unbeaten.
They've not been that great though. That's
what I'm saying. They're unbeaten. Let's just check the league here. Standings. Yeah, Liverpool, City, Leicester. Leicester are unbeaten. They've only scored 6 and conceded 3, but they just haven't been beaten. They're not playing well, and they are third.
Who have they played? Anyone good?
They've played Chelsea. They beat Newcastle. No, sorry. They beat Bournemouth. They beat Sheffield United, and they drew to Chelsea and Wolves, which are fair enough draws, to be honest.
They've basically done what you'd expect, I guess, haven't you?
Well, I'd expect them to lose to Chelsea, to be honest.
Well, I mean, ordinarily, I'd want them to lose, but so far this season we've not played great. So I kind of think that draws a fair result. I probably wouldn't like it. But...
Yeah. So Leicester do look relatively decent this season. I think they're going to turn over United, personally. Sheffield United, Southampton.
Well, obviously, I have John Lundstrom.
Yep, same.
And that is about it, for us.
See, I'm having a mare again, man. This is why I was debating the wild card. Last week, I had to do a double Sheffield United defence because I've got the goalie and I've got Lundstrom because Walker Peters got injured. And I haven't rectified the Walker Peters injury crisis, so I again have double Sheffield United defence with Henderson and Lundstrom. Now, the only advantage is that they've got Southampton at home.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that working out very nicely for you, if I'm honest.
But because I want to get Aguero in and I have to take a -4, which is Callum Wilson, next week after that, I might have the double Sheffield United defence again. I can't get out of it. And then they've got some shocking fixtures coming up. I don't know what I'm going to do, man.
Just double Sheffield United all the way to the title, mate.
You reckon? Just set and forget?
Yeah. Just set and forget. Don't even look at it anymore.
Henderson and Lundstrom going to take me to the title, yeah?
Yeah. You heard it here first.
Imagine.
I'll be pissed off, but I'll also be quite impressed. So,
I think it's going to be, well, I hope it's going to be a 1-0 Sheffield United win.
I'd go with that actually as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Southampton are pretty piss poor, aren't they, really?
Southampton are not playing well. Sheffield United look pretty solid at home, to be honest.
It doesn't look like a nice play to go, does it? It's that sort of old style ground where it's quite intense and everyone's up for it because they've not been in the league for long years. So,
just trying to have a look at the Southampton away form. Oh, it's pretty decent.
Was it?
Oh no, when the fuck was that? Last match is away. Fulham. When did they play Fulham?
Last year.
EFL Cup. Yeah. They beat Fulham. They beat Brighton. They lost to Burnley. They beat Feyenoord. Interesting. Can't really read too much into that, to be honest. Have you got any Southampton players?
No, I do not.
You do not? Not even on the bench?
Not even Danny Ings. I don't have anyone.
Danny Ings is actually playing all right, to be fair.
He is, actually. Joe's probably kicking himself. He wants to put him in, but no, he can't.
My dad has actually got Danny Ings in the team.
So, does he?
Yeah, he does.
How's he doing, though?
Yeah, he's like 10 points behind me.
Oh, so better than me.
Well, Danny Ings, I think, scored last week and got like 12 points or some shit.
Yeah.
Right. Spurs Crystal Palace, Jordan. Have a little. What do you think there? What's going to happen in that game?
As much as I think Crystal Palace are, doing okay this season, I can see Spurs. They need a good result. I think it's going to be, just a 2-0 win. It's going to be routine, really. One of those games.
Yeah, I can only agree with that. Palace have started well. Jordan Ayew, Pell's recommendation.
Yes, I am, Jordan.
Has scored back-to-back. You are you, Jordan? Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan, are you? Yes, I am.
But do we think Ericsson is going to start to become a valuable FPL asset? No, the window is closed and he's probably now going to start. I'm interested.
Well,
I'm interested in the Ericsson shout. I must be honest.
Well, Lo Celso's injured as well now, isn't he? So you can
Exactly.
only see Ericsson's role increasing again.
And he does look good when he comes on.
Well, every time he comes on, they seem to get us when they get their goals, isn't it? He makes them tick. I don't think they almost didn't play him because they sort of felt, I would don't need you, but they do.
Yeah, agreed. I'm trying to work out who's going to be playing in that defence for Spurs because obviously Kevin Walker-Peters is injured. So Aurier, I think he's still injured because he hasn't been on the bench. So who have they got there? Foyth,
man like Foyth.
Surely not.
I mean, unless they play three at the back, it's going to be Foyth, isn't it?
No, Foyth is injured as well.
Oh, is he? Sissoko.
Just like they haven't got any defenders, man. They've got Sanchez injured, Trippier's gone, Foyth's injured, Walker-Peters is injured. Maybe Aurier is back then. Fuck knows.
Yeah, no. I mean, maybe just Davies and Rose. Davies play right back, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to see how that pans out because I'm just looking here. Aurier is also 4.9, which would be a straight swap for KWP for me, which would be really ideal.
I like how you've swapped to using just KWP. You can't remember his name.
Kevin Carl Walker-Peters.
Heath.
Are you going? No, you're not going to the Chelsea Wolves game because of that Wolves. But what do you think there? I think it's going to be a loss for Chelsea, in my opinion.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think they are probably going to win something like 2-1. We're playing all right, but we just don't seem to have that game management to get results. We're always going to get FPL points for those players, but as a team, you can see Wolves just sitting down, getting on the counter. Jimenez getting a goal, maybe.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, mate. I think
Rudiger's back, is he?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a couple more weeks there.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, in that case.
I think you've hit the nail on the head, mate. I genuinely think it's a game management issue. Just like, obviously we're starting really good, and then from literally the 30th minute until the end of the game, we are just like, we don't know what the next plan is. It's like Lampard, everyone's aware that the plan in the first 30 minutes is like attack, free-flowing football, and then it's like, after that point, no one knows what the fucking plan is. Are we now sitting? Are we still attacking? And then we just get cut wide open. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like we've just got, we start the game, the engines fire up, and then, 30 minutes, we ran out of fuel, but we just carry on in that direction, but just not as well. We sort of just drift.
It's frustrating, man, but obviously Lampard's got to give him some time, got to give him the whole season, obviously.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like anyone else can do much better job. We don't exactly have a great squad, to be fair. They're all quite young, so it's just going to be a learning curve, but I think eventually we'll get there. But
I mean, if we get top, I think it'll be a miracle if we get top 4. It'd be a fucking amazing achievement considering, we're already in Champions League. Lampard has not got the squad, has not been able to recruit. If we end up top 4 this season with young players adopting a new philosophy, then I'd say that is a really good season. The way we've started as well. I mean, it doesn't look like top 4, but if we finish there, then fair enough. That looks good.
Yeah, no, and I think if you look at United and Arsenal, they don't exactly look brilliant either. So it might be a case of like last year where it was just who played the least bad, really.
Yeah, exactly. It's who doesn't want to finish in the top 4 can sort of nominate themselves not to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, 3rd and 4th is so up for grabs and I'm including Leicester and Wolves in this. Like, them positions are up for grabs because Spurs, United, Arsenal and Chelsea just do not want them places.
No, like you say, they've got good-ish players, but they don't seem to, put together any results or anything like that. There's no, no one has a run of form. No one's getting 4 results on a spin. There's always, they drop points there, drop points here. They're not, teams aren't scared of them, I don't think. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Let's move on. Let's go to Norwich City. This could be carnage.
Norwich City. Who are Norwich City playing?
Norwich City are playing Manchester City.
Okay, all right. I think 4-1 to Man City, if I'm honest.
4-1. Thinking Norwich going to get that goal?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, what's his name? Laporte's out. It's going to be a makeshift defence with, Stones and Otamendi just not that bothered about defending that much, are they, really? And Pukki only needs one chance by the looks of it so far this season. You can see a nice little goal there, but City obviously going to, you'd think, get lots of goals. So their team is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think City are also going to score. I mean, they scored 4 last week. If they can score 4 away from home this week, it would have been an insane amount of goals already scored this season. Sterling's in the team. Zinchenko's in my team as well. I'm hoping for a City clean sheet. I think personally they might get it. I think it's going to be 4-0 again. Back-to-back 4-0s for City.
Back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
Back to the app.
Back to the app. All right, that's a Saturday fixture. Should we have a look on the Sunday fixtures? We've got Bournemouth, Everton, Watford, Arsenal. So Bournemouth, Everton. That could be a tasty fixture.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know about you, but it's a sort of game a lot of people probably have a lot of players in as well. They're sort of the cheap, well, not cheap, but they're the sort of budget players.
They're the sort of filler players, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've got Sigurdsson, Richarlison, and then obviously you've got King and Wilson. Digne, yeah. I actually have him, forgot about him. Yeah, they're the sort of players everyone's got around for sort of 8 million mark for the attackers. Digne obviously 6 million, but they're good players. They're going to get you points.
Yeah, but particularly if you're playing that long-term game. I think Richarlison, has he got off the mark now a couple of times?
I think he got two goals last week, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm looking at Iwobi, right? And I'm thinking, right, Iwobi is going to become perhaps Everton's best winger. At Arsenal, he's not even in Arsenal's top 3 in their midfield, really, Iwobi. He's now going to a club where he's going to be one of the best in that team. And I think he got an assist or a goal last week, and I think he's been playing well relatively in the last couple of weeks. I'm looking at Iwobi as that cheap option for Everton because I don't have Sigurdsson and Richarlison. What do you think of that shout, Iwobi?
How much is he? Do you know?
I'll get the exact figure right now, but I believe it to be 6 mil. So
that is pretty good.
He's actually 5.9. He's gone down because he didn't play the first couple of weeks because obviously he was the new transfer. But he played for 75 minutes and he got a goal and 2 bonus. So kicked off his campaign straight away. He's obviously 2 million cheaper than Richarlison, 2 million cheaper than Sigurdsson. Where Walcott isn't playing, Bernard he's playing, but he's 6.5, and then you've got Iwobi, who's only owned by 1.9%. He's obviously gone down already. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, right, if Iwobi in the next game week starts well, then they've still got in the next sort of 6 or 7 game weeks, they've got Sheffield United, Burnley, West Ham, Brighton, Southampton, Norwich. So Iwobi could be my special sort of super duper pick.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've got Sigurdsson and, for the fixtures, but if you could save that extra 2 million, what it is, and he's getting as many points, well, probably more. He's probably got more points in in that one game than Sigurdsson has in the season. Could be a good option. Budget, really. It works.
It's one I'm keeping an eye on from a wild card, certainly.
What's that, sorry?
It's one I'm keeping my eye on for the wild card, for sure, because obviously it'll free up some funds for me elsewhere.
Definitely. When are you doing your wild card? Do you know? You're not doing it this week?
No, I'm not going to do it this week. I'm going to look to do it. I always want to leave it as late as possible, but my team just doesn't look good at the moment. So I think maybe around game week 8 or 9, I'm going to try and slot it in, which I believe will be at the end of next month.
I'm thinking the next international is what I'm personally thinking,
When is that?
which is that's the middle of October. So that'll take us up to game week 8. No, start of game week 9.
Yeah, that's probably going to be my time, depending on how my team plays next couple of weeks, because I started so well in this campaign, but at the moment my team are just not firing. I've just not got, I really want Aguero and stuff like that. So, yeah, I just don't know. I don't want to rush it, though. Do you know what I mean? I'm still not in a bad position.
No, exactly. I think everyone's kind of in that position of it's solid, at least in the mini league anyway. In the overall conservatory league, I think we're doing pretty bad. But,
it's not going well.
Those people aren't going to abuse me on WhatsApp about my poor choices, so I'm not too bothered about those people.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't really. I'm 116th in that league. I was 22nd the week before that, so I've just fucking slipped badly. There's some guy in there who's on 307 points. He's ranked 188th in the whole game, and he's in our league.
Well, I see. That's because we're giving him such good tips, such as Sigurdsson and Perez.
Yeah, he doesn't have those players in the team. He does have. It's fucking ridiculous, his team. He's got Adrian, and then he's got Kelly, who was obviously getting clean sheet points. Digne and Van Dijk. So he's got no City defenders. He's then got De Bruyne, Sterling, Cantwell, and Salah.
I remember we looked at this like 2 weeks ago. I still don't understand how he has this team.
And then he's got Aguero, Pookie, and Greenwood. He's 188th in the whole thing, and Greenwood doesn't play, and Kelly is a 4 mil defender for Palace. Like, what the fuck?
We say that, but he's got Lundstrom on the bench,
and all his bench play as well. That's what I mean. So he's got options. He's got a really good team.
To sum up, he's better than me. But yeah, look at he had Lundstrom in when he got loads of points. He does a lot of transfers. Well, looks as well. He's quite active. Like his team's changed a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe he's got lucky. Maybe he doesn't actually know what he's doing. I think that's it. To be honest, give him a month. He'll be back down the bottom feeders with Mason.
You reckon?
Yeah, he'll be below par.
Below par.
Below par.
All right, let's finish off these next 2 games because I want to go to bed. Right, where are we?
That's it, mate.
Fixtures. Watford, Arsenal. Pepe off the sheet this week.
I think is what I've taken from it.
What?
They got in the new manager, and I've looked into it. And the only reason he did well last time was because Jovanovic quit, and he took over the team on a high, and they slowly got worse. So they're already gonna be shit, and now they're gonna get worse again. So what for the fuck?
Such a strange decision, isn't it, to sack him?
Yeah, I mean, last year everyone was talking about how he was possibly manager of the season.
He got to the fucking FA Cup final, bro. With Watford.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But they're that sort of club, aren't they? They just chop and change.
They just shit their
kind of hope
that they just had a bad start, basically. They just bummed us went.
Yeah.
Do you have any Arsenal or Watford players?
No, I don't actually.
No, me neither.
Like it's surprising. Why would I have them?
Well, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe.
Just better options for that money, though, isn't there?
There is better options, yeah. I mean, Aubameyang himself didn't play in the internationals. I've got a feeling he's going to be fighting fit. Watford are in disarray. I'm going to go for a 3-0 Arsenal win there. And I think Pepe definitely going to start, once he gets that first goal, he's going to sort of relax and then start picking up them mega Hazard midfield points.
Yeah, I don't know about the mega Hazard bit, but yeah, I definitely think he's going to start getting a lot of points once that first goal goes in. He's slowly getting into the team more as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in my draft team as well, so I really need him to start doing something.
Yeah, but it would be nice for you, I suppose, wouldn't it?
It would be quite nice, considering.
Yeah, no, I think 3-0, probably go with that as well, to be honest.
Okay. Villa, West Ham, Monday Night Football. That's a poor Monday Night Football, that is. Villa, West Ham.
Wow, Battle of the Burgundies there. Fucking hell. Does anyone really care about those teams?
I've got John McGinn.
John McGinn? Actually, Haller's all right, isn't he?
We've got Haller.
Dandy Silver. Lost 0.1. What a little bitch.
Out Trezeguet. Nah, bad fixture, man. I just don't have any of them players apart from McGinn. If McGinn can get a goal, then that's great. If not, then I kind of expect that as well.
Yeah. No, I think that those are two. Everyone's just going to have, McGinn, probably maybe come out Grealish. And I think that's it, unless you've got Halibut, he was injured, so you'd take him out. But, yeah, I can see a nice, strong 1-1 there.
Strong 1-1. Do you know what? I think Villa are going to win that game. I think Villa are going to win that 2-1. And I hope John McGinn gets a brace. Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you do, but it's not going to happen. Where are Villa in the table? They're doing all right, aren't they?
Well, they got fucked over, didn't they, at Palace? So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they're not doing very well. They're in the relegation zone, actually.
Fuck, Norwich are second bottom. I did not know that. You'd think because Poogie's banging them in. They're second bottom.
Yeah.
That's mad.
That is a little bit crazy. Goals for 6. He's got all but one of their goals.
Wolves are down there as well, man. We should get a win against them, really.
Yeah. Mind you, they didn't have what's it called, Europa, did they? Obviously, so they might be they'll be at the same place as everyone else for once.
Yeah, true. Right, I'm going to wrap this up, mate.
Go for it.
Okay, thanks everyone for listening to the FPL Conservatory. I know Mason, Joe, and Perry are probably going to listen to this podcast. So, and we've actually got, I think it's, let's have a look here, how many minutes? So it's been 46 minutes and 25 seconds. And for the last time, I'm going to say thank you to Jordan and also thank you to Jordan's nan. We had to get Jordan's nan in the pod somewhere.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, great. I thought I'd be, nowhere to hide. It's not like a group bullying, but no, it's fine. Just carry on.
The one-on-one bully.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we didn't even talk about Ray's penis either.
And with that, I'm signing off.